Good evening, everybody. My name is Sarah Kirby-Young. I'm currently a Vancouver Park Board Commissioner. I have served as chair. And I just will give you a little bit of background about me in terms of experience of standing up for neighborhoods. When the city wanted to move the Marple Oak Ridge Community Centre off of the Oak Park site and relocate it against the wishes of the community, we fought against that. We brought a motion and passed it successfully to have that community centre rebuilt on that site. When the funding disappeared for the Marple Oak Ridge Community Centre, and they said, look, what happened to it? It was built in 1949, and it was the oldest one in the city. It is way overdue for renewal. We have now secured full funding in that capital plan for that new community centre. And those are amenities that neighborhoods need. I'll give you another example, because I think it's important for you to understand the experience of people that are aiming to stand up for you on council, which I am with the MPA. And that is relating to an aquatic strategy. When the report that came forward from staff suggested closing neighborhood pools, again, a really important part of amenities and livability, such as Lord Byng and Templeton, I brought amendments to fight against that. That was not supported by our opposing park board commissioners, but we stood up for the community. So on the question, as it relates to do towers improve affordability of the ecological, I do not believe, and nor does the MPA, that supply will solve the affordability crisis. What the MPA does commit to, and it's right here in our housing plan, and I quote, "We are committed to developing a comprehensive citywide plan with a unique plan for each neighborhood." The different neighborhoods in our city, whether it's here in Mount Pleasant, or Commercial Drive, or Kitsilano, are really the heart and soul. And we want to ensure that those are developed with a comprehensive citywide plan that will reflect and retain the character of the neighborhood while adding the necessary growth that is needed across the city. We do not believe that what is happening right now is working. It's divisive at City Hall. I was there last night. There were so many people that were speaking out against it and wanting to. They had an overflow room to hold the capacity. Something is not working. We do not support that. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Pete Fry, and I'm running for City Council with the Green Party. I would like to extend apologies for Adrienne Carr, who was going to join me tonight, but as a sitting councillor, she is busy at City Hall with public hearing from hundreds of people like you who are concerned about their communities. I'd also like to acknowledge my running mate from Park Board, Dave Demers, who got here a little late and wasn't able to introduce himself. So, neighborhood involvement and empowerment. That's actually how I got into politics in the first place. I ran in 2014 after being a champion of my own neighborhood in Strathcona. I spent 2 years on the downtown east side local area plan, which I quickly realized was a completely disingenuous use of neighborhood resources. They sucked us in and they got us to dedicate a lot of time, but in fact our involvement was strictly window dressing and the decisions were already made in advance. I've also been a champion of my neighborhood for safety and making sure that the viaducts removal would in fact have a dedicated traffic route that didn't run through our neighborhood. Because the viaducts removal had become all about developing the land underneath it and nothing about developing the community around it. So when I ran in 2014, the crux of my run was entirely on neighborhood involvement. I would travel down to Portland, Oregon, and actually met with commissioners in Portland, where they have a system that's 45 years old. It's called the Office of Neighborhood Involvement. It's born out of the same kind of neighborhood activism. And it empowers each and every neighborhood throughout Portland. There's 96 different neighborhoods in Portland. They each coalesce in a district coalition. And when it comes to land use decisions, they have a planner assigned to each district, and the communities get together and make decisions and have input. And it's important to distinguish that there is a role of community, and often it gets blurred. And that's happening in Portland right now because a lot of the older established neighborhoods haven't updated. But part of the mandate is to make sure that it is inclusive of all community, not just property owners, but renters, a whole diversity. So that's what I'm committed to. As a party, we are committed to a comprehensive city plan, and that hinges on neighborhood planning offices.
Quite a thing to fall in a long list like this. You run out of things to say. My name is Ann Roberts. I'm running with COPE, the party that's been in Vancouver for 50 years. I'm running very proudly with Jean Swanson, who you probably heard a lot about. She recently was arrested for standing up against the Kinder Morgan pipeline. We're really proud of her. And Derek O'Keefe, who's been an organizer for renters with the Vancouver Tenants Union. And not everybody can be here and get on the panel, so I'm happy to represent them tonight, and we all agree on what's going on in the policies. Personally, I've had quite a bit of experience over the years. I've spent most of my life when I got involved in electoral politics is been fighting for neighborhood control, having people, first I was on the school board because I'd come out of being active in my school as a parent and concerned about parents having more say about what should go on. After that, I got involved in the city plan committee, and that was an opportunity that unfortunately let fall. It was a great opportunity of developing a real plan where neighbors could actually decide what was important and what they wanted. We went a long ways toward achieving some of that, but then nothing got passed, nothing got funded, nothing got, choices made. Then I went on to be elected at City Council, 2002, 2005. And all through that, had participatory budgeting, all through that, looking for ways that citizens could be more involved. The thing, I guess I'll have Drew on the next time, but the main thing that COPE has been standing for is to take back City Hall from the developers. It's time to get out of the private market is not going to solve our problems. We, the public, have to take control and build public housing and fund it publicly.